Yeah. All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. FastTrack
Ye-
Feedback Fridays. And we've got a full queue today. So
Sheesh.
I'm assuming that most of the folks here know what's up. But the idea is that we give you the most detailed and hopefully helpful feedback that we can on your music. Love to hear the in progress stuff so we can help in your process. But if you've got something really special, then feel free to send that as well. And you might just have a shot at getting top tier track, which lands you on our playlists and our Instagram and all that stuff. So if you want to check out our past features, see what the best of the best have been so far, you can go to our Instagram up there, fasttrack_music, and see those top tier track posts and listen to the playlists. But
Ye-
yeah, we've got a full queue, like I said. Do you want to go through it or got anything else to
Yeah,
start
yeah.
out?
We say we have a full queue, but that doesn't mean you can't submit still. So still feel free to submit. It's just that we typically get through 5 tracks in a day. We go through them in order that they were submitted, but we always have a link for you to tip. Tipping allows you to skip everybody because some people need feedback and they need it now. So we give that option for you guys. The queue is always opened, but the free queue is full. So keep that in mind. We'll accept every track and we'll get to it eventually. It's just typically we get through 5 per stream. So
Mm-hmm.
and you guys know the people that submitted know why we take a long time and we give quote unquote fantastic feedback that's very detailed. So the reviews are in, people are like it, and people come back. So but yeah, so we have Violet Shades, we have Big Man on a Small Horse, we got Lil Shino, we got Maine, we got Jokerhead. All I think Violet Shades might be the first song we got you, but everybody else is
Mm-hmm.
return people. So I'm telling you, the testimonies are in. But we always love to have more new people. So please, if you're watching for the first time, submit. We want to hear you. Why you early? Did I miss daylight savings times? Chris
Daylight
Eaglestone.
shavings times.
Yeah. Shavings times. I don't know what I don't want to know how hairy you are, Jokerhead, but I'd imagine it's too much. Chris Eaglestone, I get that a lot, but unfortunately I'm not. I'm just
Interesting.
tired. But anyways, missed you, man, Jokerhead. We give you a lot of shit and we talk a lot of shit, but it's a fun time when you're here. So good to see you again. Can't wait to hear what you got in store, unless it's ultra violence. But you are fifth in the spot, so we should be able to get to you guys, unless somebody skips. So anywho, uh, yeah, do you want to just start with the first song?
Yeah, let's do it. I'll push to live.
All right. Let us know how you're doing, Jokerhead. We haven't seen you in a while, so and you. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
hearts.
Ooh, and by the way, a little call out here. Violet Shades does indeed have a profile picture and an account.
Sheesh.
Everybody has been signing up recently while submitting, so appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Violet Shades, I'm checking out your profile right now. It's looking pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
so that's cool.
Oh,
And
on blast
yeah,
here.
should we? Is there a
Go through.
description here? Or you want to do the details on the track?
Yep. So Violet Shade submitted a song called Utopia 8. Their role include songwriter, composer, sample curator, beat maker, orchestrator. There better be strings on here, or else I'm gonna delete that role. Keyboardist, mixing engineer, mastering engineer, producer, vocal producer, game sound designer. Huh? This is a game. Independent
Hmm.
releaser, social media manager, promoter, marketer. Okay, is this is this going out? Do you want like a full fledged feedback of the promotion side too? Promoter, marketer, live sound engineer, artwork designer, indie label. There's no artwork here. So what are you talking about? What are you
And
talking about?
do you actually have an indie label, or are you
Yeah,
just saying that you're like, I'm my label?
yeah. And this is for this song specifically. Like you could put these roles, I think, on your profile. Like that's great. But like in terms of the feedback that you're giving for this track, do you want us to be like, I think the art should be this? If you do, like please let us know. But that's why there's this description field here, and you put anything you want. So that is very broad. Anyways, the track genre is ambient. The track artist is Violet Shades, self-titled. And yeah, Utopia 8. You ready?
Yeah, Jokerhead's describing your background.
Is he saying what? There's
he
like nothing. There's it's the same fucking background every week.
he just knows it a little too well.
The red towel, I can't see it hung up on the cooker handle. I click on it. Yeah, there is no red towel. No, there is. There is. There's a red towel. You just can't see
Jesus,
it.
he knows your place pretty better than you do.
No, I know. I mean, I know that it was covered up, but it's not. Was it on the floor before? There it is. Yeah. See, he knows.
It's hilarious.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna get doxxed by Jokerhead one of these days. It's gonna be bad. 94 rating. We don't know, bro. All right. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Utopia 8, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh.
Nice sound design. High frequencies are a little shrill,
Yeah.
but very cool sounds. This is awesome. Very harsh frequencies in here,
A
though.
little bit, yeah.
Very harsh. And very loud compared to everything else.
Top heavy.
Yeah.
Nice space there.
Cool.
It is just the leveling is slow.
The leveling is, and top heavy, kind of still. The sound design is amazing. It's like a cool, either penultimate intermission or like a intro to an album.
Yeah, something.
That's cool. What do you think about the ending?
E there I think, like, it wasn't something where it was, like, super awkward, like, sound-wise or sound design, like, editing-wise,
Yep.
but I don't know, like, it was only at the very end that I started to feel like those strings feel a little more artificial than they did the rest of the time just
Mm.
because of, like, the part. I don't know, like, it was a little bit, like, cheesy to me or something, I don't know exactly why.
The timbre or
Just, like, the musically, like, let's go
musically?
listen again.
Oh, major.
That sounds cool, and then
That part was cool, yeah.
yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, musically, I'm not mad at it,
There's
yeah.
something just about the wanderingness of that, like, chord progression at the end
Yeah.
that feel like I was waiting to, like, hear it get somewhere, like, we're
Yeah.
in this
There's no
journey, and it doesn't
tension at
really
all, no.
go anywhere, yeah.
Yeah. It's a utopia, though, so,
Yeah.
yeah, no problems here. No dissonance.
Yeah, exactly.
No
It's
minor.
true. Wow, Utopia sounds boring.
A little bit, yeah. It's
But
funny.
not the song looks pretty cool.
The song is really, really cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Joker going crazy as usual.
I was gonna say it, Violet Shades, congratulations, you've officially broken Jokerhead.
Yeah, no what is
That last one's accurate.
no wipey? Uh, I don't know what he's
No
talking about
idea.
here.
No
I have to
idea.
watch that back. Alright, anyways, Violet Shades, if you're here, let us know. If not, they might not be here, they submitted last week, but,
Mhm.
yeah, so what do you have for vibes?
Um, Overall, I mean, I think it like the sound design aspect and the, landscape of I don't know, like, it starts to paint a little bit of landscape, but I feel like it's maybe a tad bit generic.
Mhm,
Like, there are some interesting sounds that, like, come in and it changes a decent amount, but then again, like, a lot of the same sounds just keep coming back in.
mhm.
It's like it's cool at the beginning when you hear, like, those, parts that we just heard that come in the high stuff,
Yep.
but usually you'd expect for there to be something else that's, like, in that register that comes in and, like, it's, like,
Mhm.
a lot of different things happening, like, that's typically more sound
Yeah.
design-y, whereas those sounds just kept repeatedly, like, coming back in, doing kind of roughly the same thing and then going away and coming back and going away.
Yeah, and there's not really any sort of main kind of top line to follow, or
Yeah.
that's one that's memorable. What I kind of feel it's like a It sounds like a robotic like fairy or future fairy or something. That's the robotic noise, and
Yeah.
it's like talking to like this or more organic kind of piano and string sounds. They're like talking to each other, working together, but it's like both of them, melodically speaking, aren't very compelling. It's more so the sound design that's mostly compelling. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot of cool, interesting timbres that are happening, a lot of stereo playing, and there's like big, like huge, like kind of bass swells and stuff that sound very cinematic. Like it's very cool. It's just melodically, there's like it's nice, but it doesn't. It's not memorable. It's not sticky, and there's a little bit of an exchange going on that's like building the story between this inorganic and organic element, but the story that they're telling, I guess, isn't super captivating. Like that's what
Yeah.
I'm feeling from a melodic point of view. Timbre wise too, although it's like objectively artistically cool, it is also objectively very top heavy and very
Yeah.
shrill and like
Yeah.
hurts. And the organic robotic kind of fairy thing is way too loud compared to
Yeah.
everything
I
else.
know.
Yeah. So, yeah, want to keep that in check. Want to dial back, kind of sweep the frequency ranges and find those especially harsh ones, and like duck those if you can, which you can. So do it. I'm getting like a Porter Robinson kind of vibe with this, which I love Porter Robinson's work. His album specifically, like Worlds, and I think Nurture is what it's called. Kind of give me that same kind of inorganic, organic, utopian future kind of vibe. But you bring your own spin to it too, which is really unique and um, very captivating in its own way. So good job. Yeah, I like this.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, all that to say, we give scores here. So vibes. What's your score?
Yeah, I think I've got it. Are you ready?
Yeah,
Alright,
3, 2,
3.
1.
You're that high, really?
Vibes wise, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of downsides for sure, and a lot of work to do. But yeah,
Yeah. For me, it was like at first I was like, there's some really creative, interesting sound design type stuff here, but then by the end of it, I just felt like, but what did I really get out of it? So
sure.
that's it's like the story for me is very important.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the vibes will be the highest score. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then content. That's what we're talking about. That's the story here. Is that just like I feel like even a night, like a good bass part, like a good melody in the bass line would help to tie things together and make it feel more like cohesive and like there's some sort of like journey arc here.
mhm,
But it just sort of feels like it's just floating around and there's just like sounds that are coming in and like there is some consistency and some structure throughout,
mhm.
but it's still like there's no real like highlight that's super eye catching. Like I don't it's hard to even put my finger on exactly what the problem is. It's just that like the composition's a little bit lackluster.
Yep.
You know, like I don't know what what you want to say or what you're trying to say. So it's hard to make specific suggestions as to like change these few things and it will be good. It's just like what is this track? Like what's the point of the track? What are you trying
Mhm.
to do with it?
Yeah. Again, I get like I got a sense. I feel like they even painted a decent picture. Like I'm picturing like this futuristic, like utopian kind of watery garden where there's like a robotic fairy and like you're talking to them, but the conversation just sucks. Like that's that's like what I'm getting, you know. So there's no tension in it. There's nothing to really move it along. The sound design and like the world that you've set up is interesting, but yeah, the main story of it is not interesting. So yeah, um, yeah, I think that's for the most part. Like a lot of the sound design choices, I think are fantastic. Um, but yeah, just that main story is a little bit left to be desired. So yeah, that's what I would work on if I were you. Try to get some top lines that are memorable. So yeah, anything else you want to add before we give scores?
No, I don't think so.
All right, content score. Three. Do you have your score?
Yes.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Just a little lower than vibes.
Sure, sure. Yeah,
But yeah, yeah, that's the main thing I think. Gotta make
I really like the sound design a lot. The fact that they were able to paint a picture for me, I think is pretty powerful.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely some work to do here.
Put up
Okay.
3. That makes it look more green than yellow. And then production is really just a matter of those loud parts or the high frequency stuff being too loud and it just being like out of balance with when that robot fairy thing or whatever comes in. It's just like it's right in front of us, but like the rest of the track is way like further away.
Hmm.
It's like, oh shit, the fucking robot fairy is like up in my grill.
Hmm.
So yeah, and it's just a little harsh. Like it's not even that loud. Like you can see the track itself is not that loud, which is weird. But definitely was having to manage the volume there with just the brightness. X Kilcade, welcome.
I will ban Jokerhead. Mark my words, I
Oh
will
my
ban
god.
Joker. What's up,
Someone
Kilcade?
send it to PayPal. I'm their account, the accountant.
Yeah, he's not, and we're about to fire him from being a chatter. If you could believe that's a job. But welcome. We are accepting submissions always. Use our website there, fasttrack.studio/stream. Submit your song there. Give us like what you want us to listen for, and we'll get to your song in the order that it's submitted. You'd be number 6. We usually get through 5, so if you want to wait like until like the next week, we'll get you to the next week. There is an option to tip. If you tip, you can get skipped right to the next song. Like right after this song, we'll review yours. So it's up to you. It's a $5 minimum. But yeah, welcome, and I'm excited to hear your music. So
So yeah, if you submit again, you'll get reviewed first next week, or if you choose to, oh well, yeah, either way, submit, and then if you want to get reviewed today, tip, skip to the front of the line so you get reviewed in a couple minutes.
yep. Jokerhead, if you want us to play your song next, you got a tip. You know the drill. And if you want a tip 10, that's fantastic. But yeah, we love it.
Oh,
Just
and
put your money where your mouth is.
by the way, X Kilcade, we also do very detailed feedback that I think you'd be hard pressed to find elsewhere. From
Yeah.
what we've seen, like most streams seem to just kind of like listen and the next thing.
Yeah. Say, eh,
We have a whole
mid,
like
mid.
system here, as you can see, for trying to help you make the best tracks possible. So
Yeah, stick around,
listen.
watch how we rate it, and then decide if it's for you or not. But cool. Production. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I think there's not a whole lot like going on. I mean, I think
It's
everything
the main
else is
thing is the
okay.
freaking levels and the shrillness. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it just hurts. If it hurts, like please adjust that. Because sound design wise and a lot of the stereo field stuff, I think is fantastic. So,
Hmm.
um, and very high quality sounds. It's just that robotic shit way too loud,
Yeah.
and also way too sharp in terms of the high frequencies there. So please fix those.
Yeah.
Um, cool. That's all I have for production. Do you want to give a score?
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Yep.
Nice.
Track
All
total.
right. Track total. Let's see. What does it shake out to?
Beep 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 beep. Okay. Cool. I have my score. You have yours.
Yep. That's it.
3, 2, 1.
Boom.
46. Yep.
There we
Pretty
are.
cool. Lot love the sound design. Just yeah, would like a little bit more story that's compelling, and then fix the shrillness, please. Jokerhead. They also tell you our shit and how to grow. Okay, should I pin? No, I don't want to pin this because that'll drive people away. So thank you, Jokerhead. Pin that. Great feedback. Nope, I will not pin that.
It's funny.
But okay. I don't know. Killicade, did we get your song? Let's see. Oh shit. I am. Oh wait, on the stream host here. No, we did not.
XKillK did follow us on Twitch.
Let us know if you have trouble, because we made this website. So if you have any problems, then we can help you out. And
Yeah.
also, we want to make it better. But
Maybe for the new folks here too, just FYI. So what you see on the screen there and the link that we've sent, that's our platform called FastTrack that we've been building. That this is just the beginning of it that you're seeing. The thing that we're developing right now and are going to start getting users into as soon as next week actually
mhm,
is our project management for music platform. So it's for collaboration, for keeping track of everything you have to do on your tracks to get them released, to make them as good as possible, to get feedback from collaborators, leave comments on tracks, keep track of versions and your projects, tasks, all that stuff. So there's a lot to come there. The idea is that we want it to be like the one-stop shop that you can come to manage all of your music releases, keep track of your files, work with your collaborators, and also find collaborators and build your team.
mhm. And
So
to keep track of your submissions and all of your ADHD track names. And all of the versions of
Yes.
Ultraviolence, if you want, you know?
Yes, exactly.
It's all there. Lana sued me. Good.
Oh, no. Are you gonna be able to tip? She sued you?
Yeah, I know, right? But, okay, we don't accept IOUs, Jokerhead, so please, if you're gonna tip, then do it with real money. Cool. You wanna push to the next song?
Yep. No monopoly money here.
Okay. Waves, big man on a small horse, frequent submitter of the stream, recent submitter.
Mhm.
Um, if you're here, say what's up. I think his name is DJ Heinous, so shout out to DJ Heinous. But this
Mhm.
song's called Waves. The role on it was producer, track genre electronic, track artist, big man on a small horse. The description is it's the latest EP track for your considered opinion. Fire. Cool. You ready?
Sweet. Yes.
Bricked up on a Friday. Let's go. Three, two, one. I don't want to say anything offensive to Joker.
It comes in waves, dark shadows for me. We're not
Bass is pretty
the
boomy.
Yeah,
same and
like a
never will
warehouse.
be. There's no
Feels like a lot of
escape.
reverb on the vocal
The
too.
end is
Yep.
calling. It comes in waves.
Nice, nice break.
It's like a really concentrated boomy bass
It
sound.
comes in
Yeah, a lot
I
of
think on
power.
a system with subs, this would just blow shit out, honestly.
Possibly, yeah. On headphones, it sounds pretty cool. But,
These
translating
ATH
it.
M50s are not supposed to sound like this with well-balanced bass. Like,
Right, right. Whoa.
There's no escape. The end is calling. It comes in waves.
I wish there's a little bit more room for those supporting synths,
yeah.
vocalists. Everything just kind of seems drowned out with reverb.
There's no escape. The end is calling. You'll never change. There's no escape. The end is
I like the riffing part here.
It comes in waves. Lullaby, lullaby, boy. Lullaby, lullaby, boy. Lullaby, lullaby, boy. There's no escape. These games you play, it comes in waves. There's no escape. These games you play, it comes in waves, 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 waves,
Uh-oh. All right, Josh, what do you think about that ending?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the ending
Wait,
is
wait, wait.
whatever. I mean, the ending doesn't really stand out from the rest of the track. I think like
Nope.
I don't know, to go into vibes, like
Mhm.
I think that the other track that we've gotten from you, DJ Heinous slash Big Man on a Small Horse,
I think we've gotten 2 at least,
yeah, I think at least two others have sounded more just like well developed and well kind of thought
and
out
more
than this.
compelling too. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just there's two big things that from the beginning were making this a little hard to like digest.
Mhm.
One of which is that the bass just takes over the whole like mix, right? It's like the whole thing is just that boomy bass that also like to me
Jokerhead
feels like
tipped, by the way. Shout out Jokerhead. Sorry.
oh nice.
We'll get to you
He'll be up
after.
next.
Yeah.
Um the whole thing just feels like it's being overtaken by that bass. And I also don't really think that the bass sounds all that well rounded. Like it's got a lot of body to it, obviously too much I'd argue, but like the timbre isn't like super compelling of that part either. It's just kind of like a big mass of bass. There's not like a really well defined like punchiness to it or like you know
Oh, I thought it was a good little punchy.
self-containment. It's
You
sort
thought it
of
was a little flabby or
yeah,
what?
it just doesn't feel like it just feels like the edges are not well defined. It's just this big
Mm,
blob of bass
sure, sure.
that doesn't feel like it's like the shape is attractive. It's just like ugh.
Mm,
So it's like that's all over. And then the vocal I think is like just over processed. I think
yeah.
that's the main thing is that like you've got reverb on it. There's like a ton of sibilance that you should probably be using a de-esser or just EQing out.
Hmm.
And that like the reverb is very like hissy, like high endy too.
Reverb delay. Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't sound like a great reverb. And then there's that delay that I just don't think is like all that compelling. It doesn't add anything really.
Yeah.
Maybe you could find a way to process it that sounds more professional. Like just like it sounds like there's a little bit of a telephone type effect, which I think you might have had on your last track too. And I'm
Hmm.
not sure if the singer is also your wife. I think you said.
Oh, is
Um,
it?
remember? I think he said that.
Oh, crazy.
Last time he said that, I don't know. I think this is probably the same singer.
Right,
I'm not
right,
sure.
right, right. I remember. I remember. That's very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is cool, but so it's like I think that the part could work for this, but it feels like the track around it isn't really like making the most of that either.
I was gonna
I
say it feels like she's all alone. Like I think she needs
yes.
some help. You know.
She's a damsel in distress.
A little bit. I mean, like, so her part is like for this is a house song, right?
Yeah.
Um, her part is like the only thing that's happening in this higher
Yeah.
register. It's the
Yeah.
only thing. Like, I would love to have some synths that are like around her register, or maybe a little bit higher in terms of the timbre. Um, she's singing like kind of a slow kind of thing. I would like to hear, and I hear some of it happening, like these little stabs in and out and stuff like that. And like see these synths that have like little delays and stuff. I would love to hear that a little bit more if that would help like support her part. Right now, it just sounds like her and then an ocean of reverb, like, and then
Yeah.
some of the other supporting stuff, but it's like also just drenched in reverb, so nothing sticks out. It just sounds like she's alone with a boat of reverb.
Yeah.
Like,
And
that's it.
everything else is getting just completely drowned and masked out by the
Mhm.
bass, which is just
Yeah,
taking up all of the space in the
yeah,
mix.
and, like, her part is decent. It's just, like, without any help, it's like we hear kind of the same thing throughout 4 minutes. So,
I
you
mean,
know.
yeah, I knew after maybe a minute or so that like, okay, if this doesn't go anywhere, this is going to be a tough sell to get
Yep.
all the way through.
Mhm.
So it's yeah, there's a lot of different things to unpack here, but let's do those in the categories.
Yeah, I don't think it seems to really develop, like, progress anyways, but yeah, okay,
Yeah,
vibes. Uh, let's see. Go here. You have a score?
yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Ah, shit, that's crazy. Okay,
nice.
then you know it's
Second
real.
try. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just the main thing for me is that it may be partly because of like, well, look, it all boils down to the decisions that you make, but it's like somewhat arrangement decisions,
yeah,
somewhat mixing decisions that just, and maybe, yeah, it's both those things really. It's the content and the production that just make me wonder again, like, what's the point of sticking around to listen to the whole track?
yep.
Like, those things have to be compelling and really good to be worth listening to for 4 minutes.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's just a lot of refinement is needed. And I think like just going back to the drawing board and saying, is this complete? And maybe you're just sending us this to us because you want ideas for like how to finish it or whatever.
Mhm.
That's great. Um, that's what's needed. But yeah,
I would love a switch up where she's like says some shit that's fast, like a rap or something. This gives me like a UK bounce vibe a little bit. It's a little bit
yeah,
more liquid, I would say, like in waves they're talking about and a lot of reverb and stuff. It's very drowned out, but I would like it to be a little bit more clean of a mix, not super clean. Like I get the artistic value of making it sound a little bit washed out, but I think it's too much at this point.
yeah,
It just washes everything out that's interesting.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, if you had like a progression where like she switches up and does something fast for a little bit, and you have these more rhythmic stabs that are helping her out and supporting her, that make everything kind of more captivating to listen to, then that would be great. That would
yeah.
be my kind of content suggestions if I was like a producer in the studio with you. Like this is what I would want to hear. But
Yeah. There's this thing I'm just thinking of, like in that using restraint and making sure that there's enough like space for the vocal, all that kind of stuff.
yep.
That like I think a lot of, beginner like producers feel like there's this deficiency. Like if you're not successful yet, you need to make sure that like every mix decision and track decision you make adds more, and that like you want your bass to sound as big as possible so you can impress people the most amount. And
Mhm.
like you want to have like your reverb be as dramatic and as much there as possible, and like don't limit the frequencies too much on that instrument because it's going to reduce it. And there's just like this background mindset of you need to do more to be more impressive. But there's this like, again, counterintuitive sort of confidence that like the most successful and best mixing engineers and producers tend to bring into their work, which is reduce, 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 reduce as much as possible, because it's only when there's a ton of space left over that you can figure out what actually deserves that extra space. And
Mhm.
so if you're making all of these really non-consequential instruments fit into a smaller space and leave breathing room for everything else, you may very well find that the vocal deserves all that extra space, and you can play around and have a lot more fun with the processing. You can do more interesting things with that vocal that are dynamic throughout. You can have it, take up a reverb that fills a bigger space and it not be a problem, because you're allowing your mix to serve the things that actually matter. And you're not just making every decision based on it needs to have the biggest bass, it needs to have the biggest reverb, it needs
Mhm.
to have like all the space filled out, because people are going to say that I didn't do a good enough job if there are empty spaces. It's like this weird mentality we have that like if you don't write 5 pages for your essay, it's not as good if it's, if it was a 3 page essay. But as we know, it's often better for the reader to have a 3 page essay to read than a 5 page one. So that's the idea. And it also, like, does it need to be 4 minutes? That's a big like content
Yeah.
consideration here, right? Like I don't know if it does. If it's really compelling and like the groove is so good that we're just like totally vibing, like bobbing our heads, and it all makes sense the way it's put together, you
Mhm.
may be able to get away with 4 minutes for this kind of driving track.
Mhm.
But right now, that little loop, essentially loop, that needs to
Yep.
carry out throughout, which includes the production and the arrangement and the parts and the mixing, like if that those core like vertical elements are improved on, then they may extend horizontally without any problem. We'd be willing to listen to those things for 4 minutes straight. But as of
Mhm.
right now, it's just making it more compelling, and then figuring out when you've reached like your limit of how compelling and good you can make those parts in that repeating cycle, then
Yep.
you know how long you can extend the track out, because you
Mhm.
can figure out where does it get boring, where does it feel like it's not fun. And right now, because those elements need to be improved, it gets boring after like about a minute.
Yep.
So yeah, do you have any other like content thoughts or anything?
Yeah. Just to try to add something that I guess wasn't really said, but I kind of said it
Mhm.
already a little bit. I do like the drums. I think they're very interesting and kind of hoppy. Like I said, very UK bounce. I feel like,
Yeah, I do like that.
and I do like the artistic direction of having it sound a little washed out. I just think it's overdone. I said that already, and
I almost think like just to be specific about that, I think that like for me, part of it is that just the vocal, again, the way that it's like bandpass or whatever, is on a frequency in the vocal that just like isn't
it's harsh.
quite hitting the mark. Yeah, it's like just slightly harsh, but it's not like usually that telephone type vocal gets a very sort of sweet tone.
Mhm.
That's like again, it's like there's a subtlety to it. It like leaves some to be desired because you're it's a compressed portion of the frequency spectrum. But if
Mhm.
you're in the wrong part of it, so you're like, instead of highlighting like the really nice tonal element of the vocal, if you're highlighting the part that's maybe not the nicest timbral element of their spectrum, then it's like the opposite effect, right?
Mhm.
Instead of just showing the good thing, you're like just showing the sort of mediocre aspect of it, a little sliver of it.
Yep.
So makes a big difference. But sorry, go on.
No, you're fine. Yeah, and if I could just like, because right now, like you said, it's a loop. If I could just like artistically suggest something, yeah, it's just something a little bit more rhythmic that fits the drums. That's a little more bouncy, a little more choppy of UK house, um, and something that like just helps out the vocalist there because she's like, if she's gonna do this slower delivery the whole time, I need something that kind of keeps me invested in like kind of dancing. Like this is like a dance track to me, you know. But the only thing is the drums, and yeah, everything else is just kind of slow. So, yeah. Anyways, that's my artistic suggestions for content. Take it or leave it. But yeah, you have a score.
Mm, yeah, I do.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to decide. I mean, I just think that, like, to me, it just feels like the content isn't there yet.
Hmm.
Like, I,
I
I
agree.
think that if the content were improved, well, it's hard to say, it really is, because like if the content was great but the production is where it's at, who knows? If the production was great but the content's where it's at, who knows? It's like they're
Hmm.
kind of hand in hand here.
Intertwined. Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, do you have anything else to add on production? We talked about
No,
it.
production, just like the balance of things, like cutting as much as possible and then filling in the extra space, not like at each point serially in the mixing and production process, feeling like you can't get rid of things because then it's going to feel too empty. Like
Mhm.
you want to do that first and then feel where it is. And there's this weird thing where, like, when you have a mix that has a couple of really great elements that are not fighting with each other, it's the most freeing feeling.
Mhm.
Like that's a big part of what makes a great mix great, is the simplicity of bringing multiple elements together that don't fight with each other, that actually work
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, the clarity of it for real.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I don't think I have anything else to add. Score?
Yeah, I've got a score.
Okay. As you were talking, my score was dropping. So you
Uh-oh.
ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Mm, there it is.
Yeah, I agree that it was higher than content, I think. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but
Sweet.
track total.
Track total. Yeah, I think I know where I'm at.
All right, I have a score. 3,
All
2,
right.
1. Yeah,
I almost said 51 too.
I put 51 because like, hey, there's upside. I like I know I've heard what is it? Big Man on a Small Horse before, and his wife before. So I like the fact that they're like a husband wife team. I think there's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
cool things. But yeah, I just I want to be a little bit more entertained, I guess.
I thought your rationale was going to be that you think they might be aliens, so therefore Area 51.
Oh fuck! Oh no, not at all. Nah, maybe Utopia 8 or Jokerhead, but nah, no, these guys.
Probably definitely Jokerhead.
Yeah, definitely
Who's
Jokerhead.
going off in the chat here still?
He's like from. He's not even from like Mars, like a normal planet. He's like from
He's
Mercury
from
or something.
Jupiter. He's from a gas giant.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he's just like from a weird planet. Yeah.
Some inferno of a planet.
For sure. That's why I was like Mercury, like ain't nobody
Yeah.
surviving but Jokerhead on there.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Pluto motherfucker. That
Pluto,
ain't a
motherfucker. That ain't
planet.
a planet, motherfucker.
Yeah, get out of here. Fuck out of here. All right. But thank you, Big Man on a Small Horse and wife. If they have an artist name, like please let us know so I don't, you know, just label. But yeah, thank you for the
Mhm.
submission. Appreciate it. Jokerhead, talk about bricked up waveforms. This waveform is
Whew.
crazy.
Bricked up on a Friday.
Always, always. But the man, the myth, the legend, Joker, Jokerhead. Shout out to Jokerhead in the chat. Um, his song is called Duality. Role they played is, let's see how many roles they put this time. Holy shit. All right,
Decent amount.
songwriter, composer, arranger, orchestrator. There better be strings. Artist, synth player, drummer, percussionist, sampler, recording engineer, recording assistant. Come on, bro. Mixing engineer, mastering engineer, producer, production assistant. How are you your own production assistant?
Why do people do that?
I don't know, man. Joker, I know exactly why Jokerhead did it. He's a troll, but
Yeah.
Track
Yes, that's
genre
true.
is electronic dance music, dark wave, indie, film soundtrack, video game soundtrack, experimental. Sorry about the abuse. Not my drug. Love you guys. Look forward to every review. This is the updated version from Bad Jester. Love your advice. I don't release anything until you say anymore. Why? So what do I need to do with this? I love the stream. Extremely sorry for my OB Johnny noxiousness. You both will make it. P.S. Josh
Oh,
still accepts bribes for good ratings. I see.
yep, that's true, everyone.
All right, bribe us. Yeah, we'll take your money. But Duality, Jokerhead, we took his money. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, let's prove him wrong. Let's come up with a bad score. 3, 2, 1.
Deal.
Just kidding. Genius is not spelled out. Already way too deep fried Jokerhead. The limiter
Haven't we
is-
heard that?
Yes, he said it's a new version of it.
Oh yeah. It's just deep fried now.
Deep fried, yeah.
It sounds like it wants to vomit.
Or it is vomiting like fried eating. I wish we had the earlier version.
Yeah. I think it could be played at a fight club. Underground fight club.
Did it get louder somehow?
Yeah, I think my head's explode. No, this is dead now. I should like that beat line. Main bass.
What do you think about that ending? I gotta go to the bathroom.
I didn't mind it. All right, I'll
All right,
start
I'll be right back.
talking.
I just gotta pee real quick.
Jokerhead,
Jokerhead,
look
take
what
it
you
anywhere
did
now.
to Chris. You're gonna make Chris go shit his brains out. All right, I'll start giving my thoughts here. Like honestly, there. I mean, there are things that I like about it. Like I said, I like that little lead line towards the end. Let me find it. You know, there we go. It's kind of cool. I like the transition there. I like to an extent the crunchiness of that, you know, bass part thing that you're doing, whatever you want, arpeggiator or whatever you want to call it. Not really an arpeggiator. Yeah, like there's some cool arrangement and like composition parts to this. I think the problems that I think Chris will probably agree with are just like it comes in so hot and it's so deep fried, especially like right into the beginning. It's a really aggressive sound. It's a, you know, not that you need to have a super like soft, you know, no hard edges sound, but it is on the edge of being a little bit like I don't know if off-putting would be the way to put it, or it's just a lot. Chris, I was just talking about how the you know that sound
From the get go, it's deep fried. Yeah,
yeah is just very like a little too
it's
extreme,
distorted.
maybe
Yeah,
distorted. Yeah, it's like I don't mind the idea of it being crunchy
yeah.
and a little bit distorted, but
I
it
mean, a
also could
lot
be
of the
because we
other
film it.
like additional sounds that he adds don't sound as distorted as that.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
it's right. They're
which
not
I think
super
that's the
matched.
highlight. There's like some cool. They're all doing this like do 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 like kind of rhythm.
Yeah,
Besides that, dum dum offbeat thing. But
and
like
it's
for
so loud
example,
too.
yeah, it's
Just
much
missing.
louder than everything else. Like that's like that thing doesn't sound as distorted as this main synth here. Where- Like from the get go, that shit sounds like it's deep fried. And
Yeah.
like the ending one, which I think is a cool change up. Like that doesn't sound too distorted either. It's just the
Yeah.
main synth, unfortunately, which you start from the get go, it hurts,
It's
and
just the main thing is
it's a
it's just
huge detractor.
overshadowing. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
it's a huge
overshadowing
detractor.
everything else. Mhm.
Yeah, I'd love to hear. I wish, and we'll have this soon. You know, if you join the platform and make use of the version control, I'd love to hear how it changed from the first version to the second because I don't remember it being this deep fried, and I don't
No, it
think we
wasn't.
gave you any feedback to suggest that. Hey, you know that limiter, Jokerhead? Put another one on top of it. I don't think that's what we
Yeah.
said.
Well, Jokerhead, I'm guessing that to do that, you didn't it wasn't the result. This doesn't sound like the result of a limiter. Unless it was. That's fucking impressive if it was, but it sounds like you added some distortion or saturation to it or something.
Sorry for the headache, Chris. I didn't have much of a headache. My ears are already destroyed from drumline, so no worries.
Oh yeah.
That's the goal. The weird bass. I get you, man. Welcome back, Aquaman. Best part, worst part. Oh yeah. Okay. Best part, worst part.
Mm.
Fine. What do you got, Josh? Best part, worst part.
The best part for me, I really do like that the lead line towards the end there that goes like
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it's a
I think
cool
that is a really
aesthetic.
cool instrument. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool sound too.
Yeah.
The worst part is just the fact that that dum, do, 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 you know, like is so distorted and just like the same throughout and overshadows everything.
Yeah. I think I agree with that for my best and worst as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. I also think like you need to add the best part, worst part. We did in general. Oh, like for other people,
Yeah.
maybe.
Custom
Uh,
feedback format for Jokerhead.
yeah, maybe. Once we get the actual site working, we can update it. But anyways, vibes. What else is there left to say? Do you think it needs to be this long, Jokerhead? Like 4 minutes, 35 seconds? I think there's like kind of three unique things that happen here. The original that or the very beginning that shows like just the main beat with the main synth. Then the second one with like some switch up synth that like kind of scratchy one. And then the third part, which is that cool kind of lead line that we like the best. Unfortunately, we have to listen like a whole song length to get to it. So, like, does it need to be that long? Do you really need to stretch out these other two parts? I would say no. Like, you could probably cut this down to 3 minutes and introduce that cool part a lot sooner. Because yeah, I was probably pretty much done with the song by a minute in. So yeah, um, but yeah, I guess that's all for vibes at this point. I'm kind of getting into content. So, do you want to give a score for vibes?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, I have a score.
Yeah, me too.
3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there. It's there's cool things about it, but it does come down to the execution of just like if I were out in the wild and I didn't know Jokerhead, I would just be like, this, needs a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even if the way that like we can tell you that like the things that we think need work on aren't like everything. It's not the whole track, but all it takes is a couple of things to be like really obviously kind of off for a
Mhm.
listener to just be like, who is this? Like next.
Who is this Joker? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, guys. Is there any way to find out which songs have been sent? Love the honesty, guys. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate the attitude. There will be soon. Right now, from their profiles, I don't think there is. Right,
Wait, who said that message?
Jokerhead. He said,
Oh,
"No, but guys, is there any way to find out which songs have been sent?"
weird. It didn't come through for me.
Okay. I think actually, if you're on the Fast Track website and you have your song in the queue, you can click on the song and play it.
Hmm.
Right. Yeah, but in terms of keeping track of your submissions, that's something that is like on the table for development at this point. But yeah, it's not ready yet. We'll let you know. Have I sent you simulation? The song? I don't remember. Um, just wondering. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have that system later. Like this is the whole fast track platform is at this point like the first feature set we're releasing is project management and version control and all that stuff. And the goal is to be able to be able to integrate that project management suite. Um, the stream isn't like the main goal, but like it'd be great to be able to, hey, if you're working on a project and you want to submit it for feedback in the stream, it's like transferable. So you'll be able to uh, manage your projects for sure and understand which version was which, when it was uploaded, what version name you gave it, Jokerhead, because you seem to forget yourself, whether you submitted it to the stream or not, stuff like that. That'll all be integrated in the platform, and that is integrated in the platform. In terms of it with the stream, not yet, but yeah. Thanks, anyways. Yeah. Content. Do you want to have anything
Uh,
else?
let's see. I mean, I think it's like, yeah, it's pretty long. It's that, that base part thing or whatever. Like that's half content, half production. But we talked about that. I don't know. I mean, like, sure, there's lots of cool stuff happening here, arrangement wise. I think one problem that isn't as bad as we've seen in the past at some points, but there is still a little bit of like distance left over, like moments that things are just not synchronized.
Hmm.
Or like at the beginning, I don't know
Yeah.
where it was, where I can find it. Not gonna find it, but
I
there's
think it was around there. I think it's
yeah,
yeah.
there it is.
Boom.
Like if everything else followed that, if that low part followed it, it would be fine and actually really helpful and cool. Because right now we're just on that one note that do 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 like the whole time. But
Mhm.
if everything follows that melody of the half step up thing
Boom. Yeah.
and then the rest of the melody, it would be cohesive and cool and interesting and more interesting than it is right now, where the bass is just staying doing the same thing the whole time. That might be the biggest arrangement problem we've talked about so far. But yeah, this isn't even getting into the production of the compression stuff. Like
He says
honestly,
you always say too much compressor, but he doesn't use a compressor. What the hell do you use? Is it like sausage fatter?
limiter.
What do you use? Do you
I want
fatten your sausage over there to get this
Jokerhead.
bricked up product?
Do you use yeah limiter? Do you use limiter?
A sound goodizer? What do you
You
use?
realize that a limiter is essentially just a really strong compressor, right?
Right. Yeah. It's like compression to the max, brick walled.
Yep.
Uh,
Flanger. You're not using a
yeah,
flanger.
we would have heard that. You don't use a flanger.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, content. If I were to summarize it, I've said it before, but just summarize it as I think there's some cool parts. I think they take way too long to get into place. I think you could smush this story that you're trying to tell which I'm getting like a murder music vibe to it. That's kind of your vibe. I think you hit it to some extent. I don't hear, with the exception of that one dissonant part, I don't think I hear anything that's like terrible or like terribly offensive to me like I've
Yeah,
heard in the past. Like, so commend you to that. But yeah, it's too long. Like, smush it down. It's too boring at this format. You have these three different sections. Like, smush it. My challenge to you to be under 3 minutes, like 3 minutes max. Smush it
yeah,
down to that,
yeah.
and I think you could have a compelling song.
On the, like, dissonance and
Heinous.
editing stuff, though. Yeah,
Sorry.
what up? So yeah, sorry, we already did review yours, but once this ends, you should be able to go back in the stream and watch it. Um, yeah. Sorry, we just oh, man, I wish you would have been here for when we reviewed it, but it's okay.
Yeah,
If you wanna submit another track, I don't I think we should follow our rule. We don't wanna review anyone more than once during the same stream, just to be fair to everyone, since we only got 5 slots.
yeah.
But if you wanna submit a track and get, like, lock your place in so you could be potentially first next stream, then, like, feel free. And if you want to, change it out, then you can do that. But, yeah, I mean, yours was in the queue there. We just go in order, so we reviewed yours already and spent, 15, 20 minutes on it.
Yeah. You got an email too, right?
Yep, emails went out this morning.
And we started 30 minutes late, so it's like, hey man,
Yeah,
try to get
best
it.
case scenario.
But yeah, usually
All good.
if you catch us before we review your song, and like, to respect your spot, we'll let you switch out a song. But it just didn't happen this time. We're also trying to. I'm on my phone. That's so that won't work.
What won't work? Are you
Yeah,
not able to submit or something, or what's
or
the
chat. Yeah, it should be able to either way. Um,
at least
yeah,
share
I
mine?
think we're also trying to like contact you about like possibly being a beta like user for this new feature set, Espadrille. So, um, I think we found you on SoundCloud. Can we message you through there? Or there doesn't seem to be any socials. Maybe we
Yeah.
can like work out like a messaging thing between
Or
us.
if yeah, if you do have socials, or I don't remember if you joined our Discord, I mean, you can either, like, message us in Discord, or you can message us on Instagram, FastTrack_music.
I got the mail, but I was driving to Manchester, so fuck
Oh, nice.
Manchester. Yeah, sorry, bro. I would love that. Message me on SoundCloud. Okay, cool. I'm too
Dope.
busy having a shit. Wait, what happened? What's that? You
Huh?
just tagged ourselves?
No, 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 did you not hear what I was saying? I was saying you can message us on Instagram if you want.
Oh, got you. Yeah. He also said that we can message him on SoundCloud if that.
Yeah. Okay, so what I was saying though is Chris didn't hear any problems, but I was trying to, like, zoom out and think if we didn't know who Jokerhead was,
Mhm.
I would be hearing things all over the place that are, like, just little, like, inconsistencies or misalignments between musical parts. They're
Content?
just moments
I
where
thought
they're
there was
yeah,
just that one part that we just highlighted. Like, that
I
was the
think
biggest thing that I was like, this is
that was
offensive.
the most noticeable one for
Yeah.
sure, but throughout, I just mean, like it just feels so crowded there, and it might partly be the production, but I'm just hearing, like, little parts that are, like, not super audible that come in and just, like, clog stuff up,
I
and
heard
there's
that mostly near the end.
maybe
Like,
yeah, it gets more, like,
there's all this like other synth melody that's
yeah,
happening that I can't understand.
it's
In
not
the
really
beginning,
compatible.
or in the middle part where you're talking about, I kind of just hear noise. I think it's
It's
just.
a sound in there, there's a
Oh yeah,
sound.
yeah, but it's not like a synth part that's trying to do like arpeggios and stuff, right? It's just
No.
like, and I
Well,
think it's just giving a sense of like, what is it? Like, I'm getting like a panic
industrialism.
alert system. Yeah, industrial, like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm getting, and I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. Maybe it's like
it could be
fucking too loud.
texture, right?
Yeah,
But
and
it's
does it need to be that long, or it's 30 seconds? No, I don't think
yeah,
so. Right?
yeah,
So, but yeah, none of tardism, none of that was as offensive to me as the beginning part. Like, that was like so obvious. Yeah.
yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I'll let you finish.
No, I think that's all, content. Let's see, scores.
Okay. Yeah. Let me score it out here. Content. I do like some of the synth sounds here. Okay, I think I have my score.
Yeah, me too.
3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I just
3
couldn't
plus 6
decide,
is
like
9. I 69, baby. That's where I'm
yeah,
at. 3 plus 6, 69. There you go.
yes, exactly.
Sorry, do you wanna did you wanna explain your score, or you wanna go to production?
No, I just think it's like there's some cool stuff, but over it's the overall picture that matters the most. Like people who are listening don't give a fuck if like at the end there's something cool. It's like do
Mhm,
they listen and is the impression that this is like like a high quality, listenable, professional, enjoyable thing, or is it like this is amateur hour, like a bunch of shit thrown into FL Studio?
mhm,
That's like the huge distinction that like you can spend hours, hours, days, hours like working on a track and not get to the point where it crosses that threshold of like mass listenability until
mhm,
you figure out the last mile, until you figure out like how to not make things clash, how to make the length correct so that it's not boring, how to make a compelling lead line, and like all of the infrastructure for your track can be in place. You've got all the parts, all the sounds, things, locked together, the structure's there, but those few things are like the entirety of the giveaway to people, whether something is like, music that they can trust to like, be
mhm,
enjoyable to listen to through the whole time and give them something. Like, do they get something out of listening to this versus something that causes them less cognitive dissonance? So that's the thing, I think, is like if your message is confusing and the message can be in the writing, the length, the production, like all of the things together, if it's confusing, it actually can cause people to like have to think more than they are getting enjoyment out of it.
mhm,
It's like cognitive dissonance, musical dissonance and cognitive dissonance are actually the same thing. It's just your brain is like processing things that are dissonant.
mhm.
So yeah, it's a real art and a science, which is why we're here. But that's my thoughts.
Joker says, "Josh, can we collab? You sort out the mess I send you. You clean up the heap of shit I send you."
Once oh my god,
This guy have a PhD in
think about
music?
that.
No, I
We'll
don't.
think about it.
Yeah, but Josh got a BS in music tech. So
A bullshit no, it's a BA.
BA, my bad, my bad.
A
Um,
bullshit music tech.
yep, yep, a bah. But
Yeah.
yeah, that is. I guess that's all. Wait, we have we gone to production at all? No,
No.
we haven't. That was content. Yeah.
Yeah. We
Anything else
talked
you want to
about it
say?
though.
Yeah,
Not really. It's like, yeah, fix
deep
that bass
fried.
part, make
Yeah.
it less deep fried. If you can, like leveling can help correct some of those dissonant feeling parts or just having like a texture that is really clashing with everything else.
Hmm.
Um, the story here still for you Jokerhead is you're getting there, but just like try to do as much simplification as you can,
Hmm.
and especially in terms of the sound, the sonic space, right? Like still you've got things that are butting right up against each other sonically, and that's just like sounds that are not being EQ'd like enough to cut out ranges that are conflicting with other instruments, like adding too much to certain parts, like that noise part being really pervasive and distracting. It's that. It's just like minimizing the distractions, and it might not even mean eliminating that much stuff. It's just like leveling the important things to be front and center and the less important things to take more of a background role so they're not all right pressed up against the glass and limited to be bricked up.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway.
This shit Viagra the beat for real. It's just bricked up all the way.
Yeah.
Sausage fattened. Chris headache. Was it my song? Can you call in sick? No, no, no. I just got an injury yesterday. I'm tired. That's all.
Hmm.
As harsh as you are, mean as fuck. Tell me to quit my dreams. That's not what we said at all. Nah, jokes aside, you guys like literally, Jughead. I don't know what it is. I don't think from the last version we said put it through a limiter. I do not think that's what we said. So, um,
Well, I,
no,
I mean,
I mean,
I don't blame you, Jokerhead, though, because like that. I mean, this isn't just a result of of putting it through a limiter. I don't think. I mean, it might be one thing that was done, but
yeah,
like I can see like taking the creative liberty to try to go in a different direction with this and like change the parts up, make it like crunchier. It's really just about like the execution and like the core advice that we try to give, continually
mhm,
is simplify, simplify, simplify. Make sure things are not clashing and make sure they're not too loud and compressed. It's like
mhm,
those are just the rules of thumb that we have been trying to get across. And it's like, yeah, if we were to compare this to, a year or two ago or however long you've been submitting,
mhm.
it's definitely a step up. But
Yeah,
it's just like keep going on that path. Like keep doing what you've been doing to like check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like
mhm,
simplify and not overdo things. That's really
yeah,
what it's about.
yep, yep, yep. Yeah, and there's like we said, there's a lot to like here. I love that last sound. It was the best part of the song.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just, yeah, it doesn't need to be 4 minutes, 35 seconds. It's like long in the
yeah,
music industry today. That's why I'm like, dude, you don't. It doesn't need to be that long. You're shooting yourself in the foot. Like,
yeah,
put your cool part like near the front, and build around that. That's what we want to hear.
yeah,
But okay. Yeah, I have a score for production. Do you have a score?
yeah. Me too.
All right, 3, 2, 1. I figured
Yeah,
mine would be pretty high. Yeah. I don't know. I think like for the most part the drums sound pretty good. It's nice and quote unquote loud. There's a lot of clashing indeed, and especially there's a huge problem with that deep fried synth there. But um, yeah, that's where my score's at. You have a total?
yep.
Pound, pound, pound. 30, 30. Oh yeah, I wonder where you're at. All right, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Okay. So upside.
I gave
Sure.
you 1 extra % Jokerhead because I
Yeah.
believe in you and I don't want you to quit making music.
Because he wants brides. Yeah, he wants bribes.
Yeah, that's for your bribes. The bribes get you 1 extra % when it comes to track total.
Guys, I think my goal is to make you laugh. Maybe if Josh stopped accepting the bribes, I'll focus on actually trying to make music. 2.53, cheating. Bought 92%. That's not what you bought.
Nope, it's $1. I mean, 1% per $1,000. So
Yeah. I told you if you gave us 1 million USD, then we'll accept the bribe, but it didn't happen.
hmm
But yeah, we don't want you to quit, Joker. It's like keep making music. I personally just wish if we could like somehow just transfer our feedback into like your DAW. That's what I want. But
yeah,
because I do not think that I said, you know what, that loud ass bass, deep fry it. That's what we need. I don't think that's what I said. So if you live in Turkmenistan, you'd be a millionaire with what your
Turkmenistan.
with your bribe. No, we wouldn't.
True. Maybe we should all be moving to Turkmenistan.
Maybe.
Oh, but Jokerhead, by the way, one thing that I do think has improved a lot here from your older stuff is the
His
level
one
of
liners.
dissonance. No,
Oh,
like remember how
yes,
the old
yeah.
stuff used to have just parts that were in different keys all the time.
Oh yeah.
This is so much more cohesive and better than that. And honestly, like if the production was cleaned up here, there are some really compelling like lead lines and
Yep.
bass lines and stuff. So it's yeah, you're definitely getting there in terms of the musical side. I think it's just like the production simplicity and making things clear is like the main, the next step.
I don't know how to read that third word there, but I think it's funny.
Yes, sir.
So I am. Does that mean I are? I am. I aren't. Like,
I think you answered your own question there.
yeah, I don't know. Keep trying, Jokerhead. Um,
Keep trying.
but yeah, thank you for the tip. And yeah, God, this next song was crazy. Do you remember when we were first developing the platform and had uh like the dummy variables?
Yeah.
Chill wave was one of them. Do you
hmm
remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always remember the app admin like stock like brown guy that was the picture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, Lil Shino, our first user, he's the next person up. They sent something called Chill Wave. Producer is their role. Track genre is synth pop, and the track artist is It's a Beat. He put that in again.
Yeah, he did. Lil Shino was our first artist on the
And,
platform.
yeah, and you
So
could say that he tainted the track artist thing by putting in It's a Beat. I don't know if that's his artist name, which that's what it's supposed to be, or if he's saying that it's a beat. Um, so
Joker said fuck every lil Lil Tardo. Jesus
He said,
Christ.
fuck every lil. Damn, bro.
Oh my
Name Lil
god.
shit. This is gonna be shit. He's making enemies. It's funny.
Yeah, by
Um,
the way, so Lil Shino's got a profile picture there again, which is awesome. We've got like a pretty good number of those now. So if you want to know how to do that, if you are a signed up user, so if you've submitted a track and signed up, which I think everyone today has,
mhm.
just go to your little, profile user image on the top right, and then you'll see my dashboard. Then you just go to settings, and the first tab there is your profile setup. So there's a link to view your profile to see what it looks like, and you can fill out like your bio, your artist name, how you want your name to be displayed on the platform, um, and your like track record as well. So if you want to put your experiences in there, where you add that you've like been an artist for this long, you've been producing for this long, you did like a project with somebody in the past you want to highlight, you can add that stuff there. And so, down the line, whenever you end up looking for collaborators on or outside of FastTrack, you can just show them your profile and they'll know exactly like what you've done and what you're good at. So
Track record, yeah.
that's what we're building up. And you can add a biography there too, if you wish.
Yep. We'll probably do examples ourselves so people can see. But
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. We will go play Losino's beat then. It's a beat. Chill wave. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Losino, first user, 3, 2, 1. Nice little pulse to it. Whoa. I wonder if Jughead would like this. It's like in his lane, I feel like. I do think the drums are a little bit louder than everything else.
Yeah, that background pad is very quiet.
Yeah, it needs to be louder. But I like the musicality of it. I think it sounds great.
A little bit 8-bit-ish,
Really? I don't hear that.
Yeah, like the hats are very like discreet, small.
Oh, the hat. Yeah.
Even that like what is that?
I just think the main like sample needs to be boosted and probably sidechain to the drums so it can be boosted.
See what I mean? Like that sound in the background is a little bit like almost 8-bit-ish.
Which one? That part? Nice piano part.
It's still so quiet relative.
Yeah, why is it so quiet? Look at it. Like, look at the levels there. But music-wise, I think this is cool.
Seems like it could be a case of getting some samples in there and then doing the drums yourself, but not really leveling them together with each other.
Yep. Nice how it integrated everything there. The drop kind of lost all of its impact though.
It's a really nice bass and kick sound.
Already better than all my shit this Joker had. I fucking knew. I was like, I didn't even look at the chat. I was like, watch Joker and eat his own words. I feel like he loves this. And then I'm sure enough, yeah.
Oh my god. Make sure you boil that talk before you eat it. Jokerhead. Lil, sorry about that.
Yeah, that little thing, doop, 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 doop. Those drums need to be louder compared to what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew Joker would like this. He eating a sock and he deserves it. But yeah, shout out Loshino, first time doing synthwave, and yeah, sounds like artistically pretty cool. Some production problems, but yeah. What you got for vibes?
Let's see. I mean, it's cool. I do like the vibes of it a lot. It's got a nice like progression to it. That bass and kick are like a really nice sound. They're very well integrated together. They feel like they're one, instrument. And I think the main issue is just that like the drums are so much further forward in the mix than everything else. Everything else just sounds like it's playing in the background.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
We've heard that a couple times today, which is funny.
Yeah. Boost
But
that shit up.
yeah, it just sounds like the mixing maybe hasn't really taken place enough yet. I mean, my best guess is that probably a lot of the other material is like samples that you've put together, and then the drums, like maybe you put together, or maybe they're just a sample, but like those things coming from different places
Mhm.
then weren't really like integrated together well enough, and it's primarily just gain staging. It's like the first step of mixing, which is something that I feel like, that's the first step and should be a continual step as you're putting your track together.
Mhm.
Gain staging is something you should always try to be doing as well as you can while you're in the process. And it will save you a lot of headaches down the road because you'll be like making decisions on what you should add and what you should do with your track based on like sort of an incorrect picture. And then you end up with like instruments that are in the background that now, if you bring them up, are clashing with other stuff that you've added since because there was room, but like things just don't make sense.
Mhm.
So gain staging, easy to do. Just set the levels like continually so where it sounds the best you can get it. And you
Yep.
don't need to go into EQing or compression at that point. But
Yep.
yeah. So otherwise it's cool. I mean, do you have any thoughts, like vibes?
Yeah, just my understanding, like, maybe I don't know if this is what happened, but like you might have a problem. Like right now, the drums are taking up a lot of the power, and like if you try to boost the everything else up without kind of making room for the sample, i.e., through like a sidechain, then you'll probably run into an issue where your overall master sounds quiet compared to other things. So I would just like that's like a next step from what Josh's thing is, which is gain staging. But in this genre, especially, I mean, you hear it with Jokerhead, like you gotta make it kind of pretty loud, um, and to get
Yeah.
those in between parts of the drums, where the drums is like going to be loud just because it's a transient and needs to thump. You need to typically make room um, for the drums if you boost that like the rest of the track up, which I think that needs to happen. And that typically what they do is sidechain um, all those instruments to the drums. That allows the drums to like everything to be ducked, the drum hits, and then everything comes back up at that loud volume without sacrificing the overall loudness. So, but yeah, first step is gain staging. The
Yeah.
next step is that kind of fancier
I
stuff.
would just be careful, like, because we don't know
Yeah, gain
yet,
stage
like,
first. Yeah, gain stage
right,
first.
exactly. Like once you correct for the gain staging, it's
Yeah.
very possible that the types of parts that you've got going on actually don't really materially conflict with the drums,
Mhm.
and you may end up creating a little bit of a sort of artificial like separation between the drums and the rest of the track that makes things sound less cohesive, or just makes things sound pumpy and weird. Like you have to be really careful with sidechaining the way that you do it to make sure that it's not like overdoing that sidechain. Everything's going, like you may not want that for the style and the genre.
Yeah, you might
Um,
actually want it depending on
you
yeah,
might, but
depending
I'm
on
just saying is like
I get
side
it. I get it.
chaining either is to solve a problem or it's for stylistic purposes.
Yeah.
So before you've got the rest of the basics down, it's hard to
Yep.
know like would that style work? Is
Yep.
that what you want, or is there a problem that needs to be solved?
Correct.
So it's
Yeah.
like
Do the gain staging first. That was just kind of like my feature site, like just based on what I understand
it's a
and my own
possibility, yeah.
experience. Yeah. But yeah, Joe Gray going crazy. But yeah, otherwise, he has like there's like a guitar part that's happening here, some cool piano that has like a jazzy sort of bluesy kind of run in it that I thought was really cool. The sample itself in the beginning I thought was interesting already. Um, so yeah, musically I really like this a lot. It's way too quiet compared to everything else. Yeah, and funnily enough, it's like Joker knows how to get things loud, but musicality, maybe might be a little lacking. And then this guy, it's like the opposite. So hey, maybe you guys should like talk to each other, help each other
Hmm.
out. Um, half of my goal is to make Stone Cold bribing such a guys really fuck. What? What do you want? Oh, you said who is this person? Like, go on Fast Track. They have a profile. Like, find out. Go use
Yeah.
the website. Anyways, yeah, you have a score for vibes.
Mm, yeah, let's see.
I think I have mine.
Yeah, I think I do too.
It's creeping up here. All right, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, shit.
Boom. Nice.
So is
Very
that
close.
pretty
Cool.
cool? It's just yeah, there's just kind of like a little amateurish vibe to it at this point, but
Yeah, mostly when the
it's cool.
production camp, I think.
Yes. That being said, content.
Mm, I wonder, like, again, it's always this interplay where, like, if the production were perfect, would the content be enough?
Yeah,
And here, it's what do you say? It's supposed to be synthwave?
yeah,
Synth
synthwave. Yeah.
pop, synth pop. Um,
I think it's supposed to be synthwave. This is not synth pop,
yeah,
but yeah.
sure. Chill wave. I mean, the song's called chill wave, and the genre is synth pop. So sure, synth wave. But I I just was wondering if there was going to be a vocal, or there's intending to be a vocal, or like anything on top of this. Like right now, it feels like a really cool foundation. Like I like what's happening. I just would be a little confused. Like if I were listening to this, honestly, as a listener, I'd be waiting for like something to come in. Like it feels a little bit like an intro until you realize, oh, we're no longer in the intro section. It's
Mhm,
just gonna be like this. So it's always about what the use case is and the genre and that kind of thing. I wonder like maybe some lead part needs to step in here to like fill that space.
mhm,
You know, it kind of feels more like it has the landscape right now, but it doesn't have the subject. Like
mhm.
I don't know what the voice is here or the story or you know, those kind of things. So
Yeah, I
I
can
like the
agree with that.
vibe, but yeah.
I think there's potential in the instruments that he's introduced already that they could serve as a lead part if they're
Mhm.
developed more. But at this point, there's just cool runs. Like the piano has a cool run down. The guitar comes in thinking that you're gonna hear like a sick solo, but it's not really a sick solo. So like I think those two instruments could have like a very high potential if you just like develop those parts a little bit, give it a solo section. Again, I say listen to Carpenter Brute because I mean even the way the guitar sounded like it sounded like a Carpenter Brute song, and he's like my favorite in this genre. So yeah, listen to him. He goes crazy with his solos, and I think that's what you could do here, and it could fill out the top line pretty nice. But you know, making a shredding solo is not exactly easy. So yeah, be forewarned. Um, yeah, I agree with Josh though. The foundation's pretty strong. Um, yeah. All that being said, you have a score.
Mm, yeah, I think so.
All right. Content. Three, two, one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the same for me. That's the part that I like of the vibes is the content, but I still think that like feels like it has a little bit to be desired in terms of being like a fully fleshed out like song that I would really want to go listen to. You know?
Yeah. I mean, there's you heard it in my live listen through. Like I really enjoyed the music
Yeah,
quality of it. It's just I agree. There's no like top line.
it feels like a foundation right now, like a good foundation, but it's
Yeah.
just like what's it supposed to be?
Yeah. And Jokerhead
What
likes
can it
it,
be? Yeah,
but Jokerhead also doesn't seem to like top lines. So there you go.
sometimes.
Production.
Yeah, and then production is just the issue of like the drums are right here. They're big and they're nice. I like a lot of the sounds, but all the other stuff like the pads and like Chris was mentioning like this piano part and guitar part, and I was like, I don't even really remember those honestly because they were
Really.
so far back there. Yeah, so that's the main feedback. I mean, you got to get the basics down first and then we'll see like where it's at, but it's just like gain staging, you know, doing some compression, like getting to a loudness level that isn't too compressed and isn't too grating, but like is, you know, enough. It's just
Mhm.
like the quiet things need to be brought up more pretty much.
Yep. Pretty much. Yeah, and then from there we might hear some more production problems. But yeah, right now it's just we can't hear anything. So
Yeah, it's like if it's at, you know, I'm not gonna say like a this is not my score percent, but let's say that you're like 30% along in your mixing process. Uh, like we can't necessarily tell you exactly what the next 70% should be. It's like you got to get to 50% or 80%. And then it's like there's a clear picture of what needs to happen next. So that's why I think like it's great to get feedback on things that you don't know what to do, but the best thing would be like just do the simple things. Do the things that you know you can do, like some, you know, easy gain staging. Or if there are things that you know are wrong, try to do those first before you get big feedback, unless you need like structural feedback and don't want to commit too much time. But if we could have heard this with proper gain staging, we probably would be able to make you really specific recommendations around the next steps of production. So
mhm.
just food for thought and getting feedback in general.
Yep, yep, yep. Jokerhead saying, "I foresee me, Lil Chino, vocals by Chris, and mastered by Josh." Guys, a hit. It's funny.
Sounds like a hit to me.
Yeah, I know, right? It'd be crazy. I don't feel any sort of inspiration on this song to rap at all. But I mean, I could hear like some pendulum-esque vocals,
Mhm.
perhaps. I'm deadly serious. But again, that's a top line, and yeah, I think that would solve a lot of the content problem. Actually,
Yeah.
strong foundation, but production, score.
Yeah, let's see.
Good on them for not making my ears hurt.
Okay, I think I know where I'm at.
Me too. 3, 2, 1. I'm probably higher than you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty close though.
I was gonna be a little higher, but then I was like, yeah, it really does need just work to get there. It's not like it's objectively bad, but it needs that
Yeah.
work.
Yep. Cool. Overall,
Let's see. Yeah, I think I know where I'm at.
3, 2, 1. Yeah.
I mean, I put it at 50 just because I think that it's like good foundation, cool
Mhm.
stuff, but like like literally the other half of it feels to me like, what's the top line of the story? Like, what's the purpose, sort of?
Mhm.
And then like the mixing, like just needs to happen.
Mhm.
So it feels like it's halfway done, but yeah, it's just my take.
I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I just like a lot of the foundation. I think it is pretty cool. I'm like pleasantly surprised with Lil
Yeah,
Shino actually.
valid.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Lil Shino. Shout out first user. Always will be special to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Unless you do
thanks.
some whack shit. But
Oh God.
speaking of another friend of the stream, the last song of today, Main, Ain't My Problem. Not his
Mm-hmm.
problem. You ready?
Yep, it's Maine. And by the way, Maine is our, well, first of all, we are approaching the end of this stream. So Maine's going to be our last submission for today. But if you want to be up first next week, nobody is currently in the queue for after this. So Big Man and a Small Horse, don't know if you're still here. Again, if you want to secure that spot, then you can submit now and then you can ask us to help you swap it out next week if you have a new version of something or a new
Yep.
track. And for anybody else, again, if you want to get reviewed as quickly as possible, you can submit now. We can swap out your track if you need next week. We'll be here at 5:30 p.m. Central, and you will get an email notification on the morning of the stream saying, "Hey, you'll probably be reviewed today," just so you get a little reminder. So that's where we're at.
Sorry,
And,
I'm being a chatter right now. But anyways, cool.
Yeah.
Let's do Main then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ain't My Problem. Their role: songwriter, lyricist, mixing engineer, vocal producer. Track genre: experimental. Are you sure it's not R&B, Main? Are you sure? Are you sure it's not Weekend Core? All right, but track artist is Main. Hey guys, for this submission, I wanted to showcase a different side of what I usually do. This track is pretty experimental for me, and especially on the production. It was fun to mess around with it. Love the streams as always. Oh man, love you too. Shout out to Main. Be like Main. But
Nice.
whoa, look at these waveforms. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ain't My Problem. 3, 2, 1.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it is different already. He delivered.
I got bad blood with my cell blood work. Came back with some fentanyl. Paid a penny for your pussy, take your pennies off.
There's like maybe no many guys.
I'm the fucking guy. I'm the fucking guy. I'm the fucking guy. You saying I'm disrespectful,
I think I want some vocal layers here.
and I think that I'm not.
At least in the beginning, I think. Here it could be
I
there.
just think you ain't special. And girl, that ain't my problem. Girl, that ain't my problem.
Yeah, let's go.
Girl, that ain't my
I think the vocals are a little bit too far forward. Sounds like it's on top of it. Just like Silverhead is a good artist. You see the Silverhead.
Piss looking just like Bacardi. Walk like a zombie, losing my conscience. You know we about to get rowdy, baby. We probably fixing for this rush.
Foreman shifting.
Electrify
Yeah,
your
Foreman's
body,
shifting.
baby. You naughty, let's have a party. Just me and you in my hotel room and a couple bags of that dust. You saying I'm disrespectful,
It's the hook.
and I think that I'm not.
I just think the vocals a little dry. That's all.
I just think you ain't
Performance-wise, it's great.
special. Girl, that ain't my problem. Girl, that ain't my problem.
And this we need to like deep dive these vocals on this part.
All my bitches are status. All my shit is high fashion, yeah. And all my homies some
It's
bandits.
a weekend part.
Girl, coming to my palace. And if you are afraid, I'll make you forget. So I'm all that you need.
Nice.
That was nice. That was cool. You did blow away my expectations there, man. I was totally expecting the weekend. You gave me the weekend at the end there, but yeah, this is
That
different.
was really cool.
Yeah, very like the first artist I came to mind was like a Bibi No Money type of vibe, but very cool. Crunchy, a lot of attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say for vibes, first impressions? I'm
Um,
glad that you're experimenting. Actually, this is awesome.
yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't. I mean, this may not be strictly vibes, but you were mentioning like the dryness of the vocals. I mean, that's pretty apparent, pretty obvious.
Yep.
Um, I mostly have a lot of respect for the willingness to like, craft a unique sound here,
Yeah.
right? Like, I think I like the boldness of that approach.
Mhm.
I agree. I think like some subtle tweaks to the dryness there and just the way that it's presented, like EQ'd all that stuff. Maybe even like the volume coming back just like a teeny tiny bit, like
Yeah,
a point two
I
dB.
think it literally sounds like it's on top of the beat.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I
yeah.
see.
I agree. It feels a little bit close for comfort, and
Mhm.
that could be because of the volume or the dryness. But like, I like mostly where it's at. I think it's subtle. It's subtle tweaks there, but the overall thing, like the only other, like first of all, I like it a lot. Like in terms of vibes, again, very unique sounding, very dramatic. Really like hooks the listener in, right?
Mhm.
Like that's what we need. There's too many tracks out there that are just like looping something that's like mildly cool versus like you have put attention into every bar. Like
Yep,
every bar and every section are there for a reason. Nothing's too long. The transitions are interesting and varied. Like nothing is the same at any 2 points in this song, except for like the hook melody in
yep,
that whisper vocal, which is needed and it ties it together and is, that's good writing.
yep.
So this is like really cool, super impressive. A lot of discipline and restraint in like the writing and the production, and just like the vision. That's what's inspiring
Division,
about
yeah.
this. Is that there's clearly a vision for this track.
Yeah, and, like, the what is it? The raw content that you delivered, like, the takes, the performance was fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, really like really all there.
Yeah, so shouts out to you. I think this might be one of my favorite songs from you, actually.
Yeah, yeah,
When an artist pushes himself and just yeah, just makes something super cool and unique, it's awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Um, vibes. You have a score?
Mm, yeah, I do.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Yeah,
Yeah,
hit that
I think
90 for you.
I think it's really cool. Like
I get it. I
I
get
think
it.
yeah.
Content?
Let's see then content. Um, Again, always a fine line between content and production in the modern day, but towards the end, I kind of wanted this. I don't know if you call it a bridge or what. Let's listen for a sec.
Was it where you started moaning?
I don't know. Let's see.
Girl, that ain't my problem. Girl, that ain't my problem.
Right?
For
Like, I
some,
think I need that to be like, I think that could be a great opportunity to be like, go crazy on the vocal effects, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, I felt like a little bit more needs to like change more dramatically for that section.
Yes.
And there was something of like it felt like it was being watered down a little bit for some reason to me.
Mhm.
Like there are background elements that then I was trying to make out, and like I want there to be cool effects and like cool interesting stuff
Yeah.
happening, like shit going wrong in the background, but I
Yeah.
just couldn't tell what a lot of it was. Maybe because of the
Well
production or like what those elements are.
well, yeah, also,
Um
it's like the vocal was mixed the same way it was throughout the whole song. There's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
needs to be why does it need to be front and center for this
yeah,
part,
yeah.
right? Which is
Like
like, from my understanding, it's a you just had a buildup with this like
Yeah.
special. It's a buildup into the drop, and then the first like forefront element is you going It's like no, that does not need to happen. Like make it a breakdown for sure, but like yeah, it's just yeah, weird thing to highlight. I'd say
Yeah.
so.
Even like I just think there's opportunity to like expand the like sound space here, like the variety and like the colors. Like it's sort of like
Yes.
the bridge when it changes like as somewhat drastically as this does from the rest.
Hmm.
It just needs a little bit of a different shade on it, like a little bit of a different filter.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of ways you could do that, but I was expecting it to be like an even like more emphasis maybe on the bass, so it sounds like darker or more extreme sort of energized
Vocal.
parts in the background. Yeah, the vocal like vibe to be a little bit different, the processing to be a
Yeah.
little different, like adding some automated like reverb or delay washes that like happen every once in a while on the vocal, like on tails of lines or something like that.
Mhm.
Just like it should like expand and like get fun and sort of play around a little bit more in that section instead of just kind of being the same vibe as the rest of it.
Agreed.
So that's the main thing. That would be like the cherry on top that would make it really like justify itself at the end there.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think for me that was probably um, the part that was like I guess the most confusing there, like this ending part. But the content overall, like I said, fantastic delivery. Um, I don't think you need to really retake anything. For me, the biggest part is just production from the fact that it sounds like it's just vocals on top of a beat. That's like one thing, but also just like I think you have the opportunity to just kind of go crazy with some of the effects here. And
Yeah,
that part that we just highlighted, I think, is one part that you can go crazy. There's no reason that this moaning part needs to be mixed the same way that you're like spitting a rap, or we need your clarity of voice. Like
true.
there's no reason for that. Like listen, like the beginning here, like where is it? Let me see.
Blood work came back with some fentanyl. Paid a penny for your pussy, take your panties off. Got my
Great
chest
flow,
out.
man. Great confidence. Great attitude. His voice sounds dope. Um, here even I think it just sounds a little dry and like forward. I just think you could
I
like
think it's kind of
layer it.
cool, honestly. I mean, you could do things with that to make it even better, but like
Yeah,
I yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the dry sound.
I just think it's too like regardless. That's fine. I think that's probably more subjective. I do think it's still too forward though, and just like on top of
Yeah,
the
the
beat.
forwardness, I could see that for sure.
Yeah, but yeah. All that being said, like content, I'll pretty much have no problem with it. I mostly it's just the artistic side of production is my
Yeah.
score. So, um, yeah, I have a score. Do you have a score?
Yeah.
All right, three, two, one.
Mm,
Oh, whoa,
flip
interesting.
flop. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Explain.
just I mean, I like the vibe and the aesthetic, but I think the in terms of progress, like the work to do and like if it's there or not, what we
Yeah.
talked about with the bridge, I think is like a somewhat big make or break thing because I was really
Yes.
super like excited from the beginning and then like into the middle there. And then once it got to the bridge, that was the first time I had a thought of, ah man, that was like a bit of a missed opportunity there.
Yep.
um, you want to make sure that like the first impression is great and the like last impression is great, and that's how people will remember that your song is great.
Sure.
So it seems kind
Yeah.
of important.
I understand that. I think the content of the bridge he could keep it, and if he just like does cool production stuff, I think it could be salvageable. That's
Yeah.
I guess that's what my score is at. Like I do really think the content's strong. Production. You have anything to say? We talked about the
Mm,
vocals. I think that's the big point here, but
yeah.
the
To
beat
me,
sounded pretty damn good. I don't know if he made
yeah,
the beat. He's usually like a vocalist and mixing engineer. That's what he put here too. So
yeah,
he didn't put beat producer, but wherever you got the beat from, like good job. It was a great beat.
yeah. Just a note. You can interpret this as you wish, but I think if the vocal was brought back a little bit, you'd actually have a little bit of room to master this just to come up to a slightly chunkier level because I did find myself wanting to turn up on this, which is like
Yeah.
sort of better than me wanting to turn down. But
Yeah.
I feel like there's a little bit of room to just squeeze out some of that extra space that's not being filled right now.
Mhm.
Should just
Yeah.
make
You
it
could
sound
push
even
it up and
cooler and even more impactful.
a little, maybe even a little gritty. Like it could be cool. Put a little bit of distortion. But
Yeah, a little bit.
what is all of this Joker going on here? Looks like he likes it. I in the middle here, I did have a thought of like, dude, this is like Joker head in a good arc, like the best Joker head arc,
Yeah,
and like this is what he would need, like a solid beat. Right, let me see, and like a great like first like top liner vocalist or something.
yeah.
Like
It is.
that's a Joker head
It's
good
so
arc
similar.
beat,
Yeah.
right? Like that's a
Same
Joker head good arc
tempo.
beat.
Yeah.
See how a good top liner
It's hilarious.
can make a huge difference, Joker head. Like this is a Joker head beat right here.
Collaborate
Piss looking just like Bacardi. Walk
Like
like
that
a
could be a Joker head
zombie.
beat.
Lose.
Like just
for real.
get a dope vocalist, you know. Guys, ear Chris, he rapped in Atlantis. All right. Anyways, um, yeah, production. Do you have a score?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's my stream host page here? Yeah. Okay. So do I. 3, 2, 1.
I knew you were gonna
Whoa.
go lower. I
Yeah.
honestly, it's mostly because I just respect how unique the sound is, and it's so fucking hard to find that. Like everyone just wants to sound exactly like
Unique in
everything
the
else.
style of their production, or unique just like
Yeah,
the artistry.
the style of the production. I'm specifically talking about the dry vocal, the way that things like cut off very like precisely, just the way that things are locked together, and like I think that the aesthetic of the production and the sounds that go into that just like is has a very clearly defined vision to it, and that's so hard to get to. The
Really,
things
I
that are left are like little teeny tiny adjustments
yeah. What's
in terms of
interesting?
production.
Yeah, interesting to me. So like I do a lot of songs where I'm a vocalist. I pick out a beat and I put my vocal on top of it. So I'm kind of hearing it from that perspective, and this is what I hear.
Mhm.
I hear a very cool beat. I hear a fantastic vocalist, and I hear that vocalist attempting to do some cool stuff with production, but not really. I think they just put their main chain on there that makes them sound good, like a dry chain. And you heard a little bit of like formant shifting and stuff, maybe a
Yeah,
little bit of background vocals here and there, maybe a little bit of layering,
yeah,
but not nearly enough. So that's like my
yeah,
perspective. My perspective is this is a great vocalist. He probably just put his main chain on there, had a couple of ideas, but didn't go really like risk heavy for me to make it artistically pleasing. I think he's a great artist,
hmm
but I don't know how intentional it was to make it dry. I think it might have just been like a lack of risk and a little bit of laziness. A thumbs up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if
But
he was
that's
here,
my
we could ask
perspective,
him.
yeah,
We could
yeah,
ask him, but I also think that my perspective is different because I don't have that
yeah,
first person thing of like guessing how somebody may or may not have put effort into it. To
yeah,
me, it's like I'm just the listener who thinks that that aesthetic is cool, and
yeah,
like often, like some of the best tracks and sounds that are out there happened by accident in the studio, and people who were listening said that sounds great. Keep it.
that's fair. Yeah, agree to
So,
disagree. I like just for example though, like when the format shits did come in, I
mhm,
did like it. I just thought I wish I'd like heard more of it or like like a vocal layer. Like I it was kind of uncanny valley for me.
mhm.
But yeah, I think we can agree to disagree there. For a final score,
Oh, I was gonna say also, there's this thing where, like you've mentioned a couple times,
yep.
dryness and like requiring reverb or something in that realm
Hmm.
versus volume and forwardness. And
I
I
don't know
know,
about reverb. Here I would like it to be remain like as sharp as it
mhm,
is. I just think like a vocal layer could be cool. I guess what I
layering.
want what I would like if I was like in the studio with him, I'd make it sound a little bit more gritty. Like the whole beat kind of sounds grimy
Mm,
and gritty, and
mhm,
like he's like whispering stuff and saying some foul shit.
yeah,
Really, so it's like I would love that to be part of the vision. To me, it just sounds like really dry. So yeah,
yeah. Could use a little bit of
hair out of
seasoning.
control. What's up, Kojak? My hair is always
Kojak.
out of control. Have you submitted with us before? I don't remember your name, but alright.
I think potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know if your Twitch name changed, but I feel like I remember you.
What's
Maybe
good?
not.
Yeah, good to see you
Um,
though. Submit. Use our website. I don't know if you've seen our website if it's been a while, but check it
and
out.
yeah, and by the way, oh shit, we got your submission. We got Kojak and we got I can't read your name.
Go ahead.
GXNRJE.
Nice.
Um,
Both users. Shout out to you.
Yes, and you are correct. We stream for 2 hours from 5:30 to 7:30 Central, so we are at the end here at the last, track. We're 9 minutes over,
Yeah.
but we're here every Friday, so we'll be here again next Friday for a bit at 5:30 Central Time,
Yeah.
and, you are first in the queue, so if
Yeah.
nobody tips to get ahead, then you'll be first, next Friday, and you'll get an email too, like, before the stream in the morning to
Yeah.
say, "Hey, reminder, stream's happening today at this time, you'll be reviewed."
Yeah, and we understand that a week's a long time, so if you wanna update your track, you'll keep your spot, just let us know. Just get
Yep.
there before we actually review your track because you are first. Get there, or you can maybe DM us, I guess. Just be like, "Hey, I wanna switch out my track." But,
Yeah.
like, yeah, let us know before we actually review it and spend like, you know how long this takes, like, 20 minutes on a track? Like, we're not gonna spend 20 minutes on your track and then you come in and say, "But I wanna do a different track." It's like, "No, we already spent 20 minutes." Like, we gotta get to the other people, you know?
Yeah. And by the way, GXNRJE, if you're here, you just deleted your submission, it looks like. But yeah, your title was missing for some reason. I don't know if you're going to resubmit with the title or you just needed feedback today. But again, feel free to follow us on Twitch here so you get notified when we're live again, and or just submit and you can swap it out next week if you need to. But you'd be towards the beginning of the stream if you get in there now.
Are you saying the
Um,
Gersion,
yeah,
whatever?
he's there. You are, Raul9 Raul.
Yeah.
Welcome. He said he didn't let me put the title. I don't know why. Well, that's something that we need to figure out.
That is weird. Why was it was there, though, and now it's
Did it not?
deleted?
Well, he deleted the track because it didn't let him put the title. But which
There was no
also,
title?
yep, there was no title.
Okay, try it again. Yeah,
Um, did it
it's weird.
not let you enter it, or did it just not save it? That's the
Right.
question.
Did you enter a title? Are you on
But
mobile?
yeah.
Sounds
So
like a plan.
just let us know. Like it's helpful just because we built this. If it wouldn't
Yeah.
save it. Yeah. Okay.
Can you try entering it again? Did you put all the fields in? Did you leave any field blank?
Your PC. I mean, so by the way, you can submit that track again and
Yeah.
hopefully it saves the title. But even if it doesn't, you can just tell us what the title is in chat and we can
Yeah.
update that manually for you.
Right. We're this is a problem though we're trying to fix. So please, like, if you could try again, like that'd be great, and let us know what your issues are.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we are getting to the end of the stream. Let's finish the main song here. Give a track total.
Yes.
Um,
Oh my God. Joker Red.
so yeah, overall artistry is pretty fantastic. I'll look at the Joker comment in a bit.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I think that he can. I love that he's pushing the mold artistically in his performance, and I think he nailed it. Like shout out to you. I think you could push the mold even more in your vocal production. That's me.
Well,
Um,
yes.
so yeah, I have a total track total score. You have one?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
It didn't publish. There it is.
90. There you go.
It's
Yeah,
cool. This is a good track. This
it
is,
is
I
cool.
think, is our highest rated one from the stream today. It's like when you
Well
bring the
deserved. Yeah.
artistry and you've got the vision and you've got some pretty damn good execution, it's like we're rooting for you to just like, fix the things that would make this really hit the mark there.
Looks
And
like Gerzernty works. By the way, we got it
it
in.
went
Looks like
through
it's
this
saved.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. Thank you.
Sick. And
Thank
you
you.
got the artwork too. Thanks for submitting that. We've got two artworks for next week, and they both look pretty cool and kind of in similar realms. Very like glowy and ethereal and purple and neon.
Could
It's
they be
interesting.
AI generated? I'm just kidding.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
wonder.
Maybe.
It's cool.
Let us know.
Kojak, did you make your art? It does look a little bit AI-ish, but that's not a bad thing. It's cool.
Gornje. Is that right? Gornje?
Gornje.
Gornje?
Okay, nice. The
It's
X
totally
must be
AI
an
on
I.
my end. Just something quick. Hey man, is what it is.
Let's
We get it.
go.
I mean, dude, with AI makes art like that good, it's like,
It's
yeah,
pretty cool, yeah.
you should fuck off AI. Why?
Isn't it funny that AI has a style?
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird that that's the case. It's just
Now I'm gonna
trained on
die on a
human
hill
stuff.
proving I made the thing. You made the thing? Fire. That's real artistry right there. But
Nice.
okay, cool. Thanks guys for submitting. Sorry we can't get to you, but we'll get to you next week. Like we said, if you want to replace your track like within the week, either like DM us and let us know. Um, you could probably just submit another track and then oh actually you can't. We only allow one submission per user. So yeah, just DM us on our Instagrams here. You can see it on the overlay. And we'll get you situated so you hold on to your spot here and get in whatever updated version or a new track that you want us to listen to. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if
Cool.
you didn't notice, if you've been on the stream for a little bit here, we like our thing is that we try to give really detailed, like constructive feedback so you can actually go in and like make changes and hopefully get a better track out of it at the end. Because we all know it's like so hard to get listeners and, you know, compete with the millions of other musicians that are pumping stuff out every day. So
Mhm.
that's our goal. That we're also building features for that on this platform. So what you see is the platform we're building, but we're going to be rolling out a whole like music collaboration and productivity suite very soon, within the next couple weeks actually. So that's going to be for uploading versions of tracks to projects, so you can keep track of all that whole structure. You can invite collaborators with different levels of access. People can comment on the track with timestamps, so like commenting about revisions or feedback, or you know, your collaborators saying that part's great, like that part's great, whatever it is. And also adding tasks, whether it's for yourself or for your collaborators, adding due dates, keeping track of everything that you have to do to, you know, get your release out the door. So that's the beginning of it. There's a lot more that we are thinking about building to help you like collaborate, build your own team, potentially even like distribute your music. So that's what we're thinking about. We also will start scheduling chats with the folks who have signed up as users to the platform through the stream, to get you guys onboarded to that product, to get your feedback, and also just so we can like meet you guys personally and get to know like why you make music and how we can help. So looking forward to that. That would be in the next few weeks, hopefully. And if you really want to get into it, like feel free to DM us and ask for an interview to get onboarded. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's coming up. Very excited and love to hear all the music that's in progress. And Violet Shades, welcome. You are the second person we reviewed today that has popped in. Thank you for that, but that we already reviewed.
We did.
So
Yeah.
we reviewed you first. You were first in the queue today. We're about to end the stream, so soon you should be able to like see the stream replay to go
Mhm.
back to the beginning for your track.
Mhm.
But yeah, we did review it. Let us know what you think. Hopefully it's helpful.
Ye-
And yeah, send us more stuff if you want to as well, of course.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Dope.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think only other announcements, follow us on Instagram. That's at FastTrack_music. Follow us on Twitch to get notified when we go live. You can join Discord if you would like to, which is I think we both did that at the same time, where we
Oops.
can, you know, you can chat and you know, reach us directly if you want, that kind of thing. And other than that, we're just very excited to build some music tools that hopefully are helpful for you to make your best music and thrive in your music career if that's your goal.
Yep.
So yeah.
Be on time next time. Wise words.
Yes.
Guys, send me that, bruh. Jokerhead, watch the VOD and find the information that you need. Like,
And
use
watch
your
the
eyes.
language too.
Use. Oh yeah, use a yeah. Watch the spelling too. Like, come on, that's atrocious. It's a four-letter word. Make. Come on. All right, you ready? Let's get out of here.
Yep. All right.
All right,
Peace out,
bye guys.
everyone. Have a great weekend. See you next week, 5:30 p.m. Central. Have a
Bye
good
bye.
weekend. Peace.